John Pritchett, first one on today, brother. You're the big winner today. Good work. Welcome, guys. I'm going to be doing, I'm going to probably talk this over a few different times, but I'm going to be interviewing Kenneth Suna from Trade Invest Simplify. So he's going to be getting on here in, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. And we kind of put out a post earlier and said that we were going to be doing this. I don't know if you guys had heard or if you saw the one yesterday, but I'm starting to interview a number of the creators, a number of the influencers. And so, yeah, that's basically what's cracking. So also what's cracking, it looks like, let me double check. I just got home. Looks like BTC might be making a little move too, which would be freaking really nice. Let's see here. Yeah, we are. Nice. Nice. What's up, TC? How you doing, man? Oh yeah, we got a little bit of volume too. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh, well, hold on a second. Let me see the 30-minute here. Let me check the 30-minute chart out here and see if we're, oh yeah, we've been running. Good. Welcome everybody. How is everyone this evening? Sorry, I'm trying to get set up for this interview. Hopefully you guys know who I'm interviewing today. He's super popular on the stock side of things, but we'll let him talk about it. But I think he's been getting into crypto some. But I always liked. I got into watching some of his stuff and got into him when I was rocking on the stock side of things a lot. So yeah, so we're gonna interview Kenneth and yeah, hopefully watch our portfolios go up while we're at it. You said he's okay. No, he's a good dude. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I know you guys are looking forward to, like, blockchain boy or whatever. And yes, he's gonna do it. He's already confirmed. Yo, bruh. There's my boy Arthur. What up, bruh? Raymond. What's cracking? How is everybody this evening? You guys ready for a little interview action? Who's ready for an interview? And then we're gonna, after we do the interview, we'll talk some more crypto, as always. Maybe we'll talk a little bit of crypto versus the stock market with Kenneth, since he knows all about the stocks. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of getting things together, making sure everything's good. So if you see me like looking around and I'm just kind of getting things together, making sure all my stuff is right and that we're good to go. All right, that's good. Good day, mate. Was that good? Did I do a good job with that one? Good day, mate. I don't know. I suck at impressions. The only impression I feel like I can do halfway decent is like the movie preview guy where he's like, starring in a world just when you thought. That's probably the only, I feel like, halfway decent impression that I can do. Sadie. BDB. What's up, brother? Just getting ready to do a little interview action like we did yesterday. Carl. The Yamaha man. Dude, do you have your license plate as your picture? I'm guessing that maybe that's an old license plate, or are you just trying to let TikTok know, like, what's up? I'm from Florida. Here is my license plate number. If you don't like me, turn me in. I'm guessing it's an older license plate, but hey. Whiskey Man, Whitson, we got people jumping in. Been slinging them for 14 years. What have you been selling for 14 years? Oh, Yamahas. Gotcha. Michigan State is my heart. Oh, man. OH. IO. Hey, thanks for the rose. Whoever that was, it came through real quick. Oh, Derail X. What's up? I appreciate the rose. Guys, we're having Kenneth get on. We're going to chat for a few minutes before he gets on. Yeah. BTC is starting to pump a little bit. I don't want to get overexcited. Could be a little fake out, but I don't think it is. I'm hoping that we can get above 40 and stay. Shoot, I'll be happy we can stay above 38. And above 39 is going to be important. I mean, everything right now, guys, is crucial for sure. For sure. Cryptography. Yeah, we got all sorts of people. So close to IO. I'm in Columbus. I am in the CO, El Capital. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. You said Michigan State. So if it's the team Michigan State, I like Michigan State much better than the Wolverines. So if you're a Spartan, it's cool. If you're saying the state of Michigan, well, you know how Ohioans feel about the whole state of Michigan. So, yeah, BDB 38 is super important, and that's kind of what I'm. So I am. You guys see me keep looking over. There's nobody sitting here. I'm literally looking at my portfolio combined with just some notes and some other stuff. So yes, I despise U of M, of course. So you're a Michigan State fan. Okay, I can deal with that. Guys, are you excited for the interview? I think it's going to be fun. Yesterday's was fun. If you guys were on here, Andy was freaking awesome. If you guys saw that, I really enjoyed interviewing her, and yeah, she was great. I think she put it up on her YouTube, just so you guys know. The one thing I'm trying to figure out. What's up, Kylie? The one thing I'm trying to figure out is she put it up on her YouTube, and I wanted to try to figure out blowing it up a little bit more when I do put it on my YouTube. I've actually got somebody working on putting a YouTube together, and I don't know, a Discord and a whole bunch of other stuff, just like stuff for everybody to check out. So I'm working on it. So probably going to ask a lot of the similar questions as yesterday, as we did with Andy. I'm guessing we'll probably have a whole new crowd of people today. I'm sure I got my OGs in the chat, but I already see a couple of them. So, oh shoot, I think Andy's in here. What's up, Andy? You hiding? Look at you hiding in the chat. I see your picture up top. Yep, I see you. Can't hide from me. No, Arthur, I haven't, and I've had a few people ask me about that. I have not. I am really well. How's your day going, Andy? Well, I hope. Hopefully you enjoyed your Sunday. What'd you say, Alex? I must have missed it. What'd you say? I missed it, Alex. I didn't even. You said I'm just messing with you. I must have missed what you said. Yeah, I don't even see it. It must not have came through, man. I didn't see anything. Guys. I had just a good day with the family. Went to church. Just got out of small group, so that was good. With some of my people there, I think maybe a few people from my small group actually might jump in and watch the interview this evening. So we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be a good night. And any night Bitcoin's starting to pump again is a good night, right? Can I get an amen? That's right. Okay. Yeah, we stay above 38. That's going to be huge. And if we can bust through 40 and keep rocking, that'd be great. Every day with kiddos is a good day. Yeah, no doubt. Rich Wilson, I don't know. I like to choose to believe not. Totally depends on who you ask. I don't know. Everybody seems like they want to always ask freaking Pablo what he thinks. Not really, I don't know that I agree with that. But even he thinks we're going to pump up to 48 or something and then drop back down. Gosh, I hope that's not the case. I really don't believe that. But hey, if you buy Bitcoin at $10, it'd be a good. If you buy Bitcoin at $10, Arthur, you better let me know who's selling it. If you got an OTC desk selling you Bitcoin for $10, bro, if you don't let me know, we are no longer friends. That is for sure. And if it's going for $10, you guys are going to be disgusted at how much Bitcoin I have. Yeah, no doubt, Crypto Addict. Everything's been a buy recently. Everything's been a lot. Yeah, I know, BDB. I don't like to talk bad about anybody else, so I don't. I won't. I won't get too far into the weeds with that one. But I don't know. Why don't I believe you about what? Oh, you're saying why don't I believe what Pablo's saying and why he would say that? Um, I I personally I think Pablo's a really smart guy, but I also think at the same time that he is he's shorting the market. He knows he's got a lot of people following him. I don't think he's big enough to actually move the market, but I do think he's big enough to get things stirring, and he knows the power of social media. I mean, think about it. I can't tell you how often I have people coming in here and saying like, "Oh, Pablo's Jesus," and I'm like, "Listen, there's only one Jesus, and he died for you." Okay, just not my thing. So just not my thing. Derail, appreciate it. And he ain't no Elon. Yeah, you guys, I saw a T-shirt. I don't wear stuff like this, and I just don't talk like this. But it literally was a shirt that said F and then a Bitcoin sign, CK, and then EL, a Bitcoin sign, and N. So it was F Elon with two Bitcoin signs in it. My wife showed it to me actually, and she was like, I know you would never wear this, but let's admit, it is kind of funny. And I was like, yeah, it kind of is. And yeah, Elon does move markets. I mean, guys, why do you, part of the reason we're pumping today, I just don't get it though. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, okay, Tesla is going to go ahead and start accepting Bitcoin again. Like, we all didn't know that it was all FUD in the first place. It's like, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. And yes, 20K BTC does sound amazing. Listen, I'm all about it. Listen, I don't care how low it goes, as long as we don't end the bull run there, right? Um, this is not. I just don't believe this is the shortest bull run in history. So as long as we don't end the bull run, there, I'm cool. I'm cool. As long as we get to the end of this year pumping, then hey, it is what it is. Let me check in. Crypto Brandon, my boy, my brother. What is popping? All right, looks like Kenneth just got on. So I'm sure he's going to be jumping in here in just a second. And we'll go from there. Yeah, we definitely need a positive day. I'll tell you what, we get above 40, the bull run has started again if we do that. And really, I don't think the bull run as a whole ever truly ended. We were just in bearish territory. Had a lot of bearish activity going on. So let me see here. Da-da-da-da-da. Boom. Well, that's weird. Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? I think you invited me at the same time I invited you, and
it was like declined, and I was like, guys, apparently he didn't want to talk to me. So
yeah. I said the same thing. I was like, rejected already.
It was immediate. We must have pushed the button at the same time because it was like declined. And I was like,
yeah, same here.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
how you doing, man?
Okay, good, man. How are you?
Good. How many people do you have in the chat?
I have about 20 right now.
Okay. Is that for this time? I want to let a few people filter in. I've got 24 over here right now. I just if you're like, hey, I normally have 30 or 40 or something like that, I want to give them a minute to jump in. If 20 is a pretty typical number, you just say the word and we can start whenever. But
yeah, it ranges anywhere from 20 to 60 usually, but more people come on, so
jumps around. Yeah,
it jumps around.
Okay, cool. So guys, this is Kenneth Suna. He is with Trade Invest Simplify. If you're not following him already, shoot him a follow. You guys know how to do your thing with that. I will tell you that I'm going to let him talk about himself, but I started following. Do you like to go by Kenneth, Ken, Kenny? What do you like to go by?
Kenneth or Ken. I don't like Ken.
Kenneth or Ken? All right, I'm going to call you Ken. Is that cool?
That works.
All right, cool. So I started following Ken actually a while ago. When I started some years ago, it was in the stock market, and then when I actually ventured over into TikTok world, it was still early enough that there wasn't the crypto hype that there is right now, and I knew that I was interested in stocks, right? I knew that I was interested in investing, and Ken was somebody that stuck out to me. Just had just a solid head on his shoulders. I could tell that A, he wasn't trying to sell me any BS, right? Yeah. And B, I felt like he was just genuine. A lot of you guys just tell me that one of the things you like about me is you feel like I'm real. Well, that's what I like about Ken. I think he's going to tell you one way or the other what he truly believes, and I think he's got a lot of experience. So without further ado, this is Ken Suna.
Hey, everybody.
All right. So Ken,
yes.
We'll get into a little bit. I'm going to ask you some similar questions that I asked Andy. I think you might have been on the
I did.
interview yesterday. So I'm probably going to ask you some similar stuff, but I'm going to have some different stuff for you too, just because of the little bit different in background and whatnot. Sure. So if for any reason I ask you something you don't want to answer, just give me the not answering that one.
You got it. I got a
how
cute.
Old are you?
I got a cute bromance comment from Crystal Lee.
Oh yeah, what'd she say?
She said cute bromance.
Oh, she said cute bromance.
Yeah.
Man, she picked up on it. She picked up on her secret already. Jeez.
Yeah.
We're outed.
Yeah.
So how old are you? Where are you from, and where do you live now?
I'm 36. I live in Washington, D.C., and I'm from Washington, D.C.
So you've lived there all your life? You haven't moved around?
I moved when I was 18. I moved up to Andover, Massachusetts, because I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and that's where one of the best pro wrestling training schools in the country was and is.
Dude, this was what I wanted. Listen, we're going to get right into it. Okay, I heard you say this recently, and I was like, I freaking knew I liked this guy, right? How does one look at whatever they're doing in their life at 18 years old and say, you know what? Because you're talking about like Hulk Hogan, professional wrestling, sure. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So tell me how that came about.
I was 3. I mean, you talked about Hulk Hogan. He's the first one I saw when I was a little kid. I don't know what I was watching. It must have been like some sports recap show, like here's what happened in sports this week. And it was WrestleMania. It was Hogan. It was Andre. And I just remember being a little kid watching this guy, Hulk Hogan, and I'm thinking like, this is the biggest guy I've ever seen. And he comes and he like rips his shirt in half. And then Andre the Giant comes down right after him. And I was like, that's the biggest guy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And you know how little kids are. They watch Batman and they're like, I'm going to be Batman when I grow up. That's what it was, but pro wrestling for me. And
okay.
Sorry for my mom, but I never grew out of it.
So then, okay, so you're 18 years old and you're like, look, I still want to follow this. Were you like heavy into like lifting weights at that point? Did you just have a heck of a personality that you were like, hey, because most of that is acting, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of athletics with acting. So how did that look?
Yeah, I had no athletic background. I had no acting background. I like the people in my high school in the theater department were like, if you like wrestling, you should be in the theater. And I was like, nope, I don't want to get up in front of a crowd, too nervous. I hated like in high school, like oral presentation. We had to give like an oral exam. Hated it. I started lifting weights senior year of high school because I was like 150 pounds. And I was like, man, if I'm going to be a wrestler, I'm like scrawny. So I started lifting weights senior year. But no, I didn't have any of it. It was just something that I always wanted to do. And
okay,
yeah.
So why did that not come to fruition? Because you're obviously not a pro wrestler now. So
I'm not a pro wrestler. No. On the very first day of class, I broke my back. So that's the end of that.
Wow. Well, that just kind of cut that right there, then, huh?
Cut that. Yeah. My mom
broke your back.
Yeah, my mom was still there because I mean, like. Going to a pro wrestling training school is a lot like dropping your kid off at college, right? Except it's not college; it's pro wrestling school. So my mom, we drove up from DC to Andover, Massachusetts, and I got a job. I had an apartment all set up. And first day of class, like I'm signing the waiver, like you can get paralyzed, you could die, you could have all kinds of health problems, injuries, and I'm signing this waiver. And then my mom was still there because it was first day of class, so she was just like, I'm going to sit here and whatever. And I got thrown over the top rope. I landed on the cement. I broke my back.
Oof.
And, it's an 8-hour day. And so it was halfway through the day and I got up and I was like, I'm fine. And I got back in and I kept getting slammed for another 4 hours because I didn't want to be like, oh, excuse me, I'm hurt on the very first day of class. So I just kept wrestling, and then woke up the next morning, couldn't move, got an MRI, and they told me I had cracked a vertebrae in half. So,
oh my gosh! Well, I guess God took care of the pro wrestler thing and just made it just instant. I guess you're not doing this. So
nope. Yeah.
All right. So what did you end up? Did you end up going to school after that? Do you have a degree? What's up with the schooling background?
No, I didn't go to college.
Okay.
I didn't want to come home from like wrestling and just go to college just to go. I had tunnel vision straight through from like 3 years old to 18. I'm going to be a wrestler. I didn't have any other interests. I didn't want to do anything else. And I just was like, I'm not going to go to school and spend $80,000 or $100,000 to just pick a degree that I don't care about. So I worked, restaurant industry, fitness industry, and I didn't feel like going to school just to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fitness industry, that's something we have in common. I was the director of training, sales training for LA Fitness for some years.
Okay.
And so I'm definitely familiar. So were you actually in like membership sales? Because that's a heavy like sales related position.
Yeah, no, I worked front desk. I was desperate to do membership sales. So the gym that I worked at was, it was a corporate gym, but they let the managers kind of do their own thing. And it was a lot like the restaurant industry where it was a corporate restaurant, but they had their own, like they let their staff do their own thing.
Yeah.
And very slowly with the restaurant industry, it became more and more corporate, and same with the fitness industry. They got bought out by a larger company that was taking them public on the stock exchange, and it just killed everything. And I had always wanted to do membership sales, but they never gave me a chance. And then the longer I was there, the more I got turned off to it, because you know how it is. They had a dry erase board in the sales office that said this many till you hit quota, and they would harass them. The membership guys would come downstairs crying. They wouldn't leave till midnight sometimes. And I was just like, I do not want to do this.
It was sad. I actually was close even after I got out years ago with the regional director, and he just not too long ago killed himself. And it was when super sad story. He was such a great guy. When all of the gyms started going under with the pandemic, I think it just, he just had too much going on, and it's just super freaking sad. But yes, all that just to say, they put a ton of freaking pressure on the sales side of that. Like I think a lot of people don't realize it because they're going to a gym and they're like, well, I'm going to sign up anyway. But if you've ever been to a high pressure, like a gym that has that type of sales tech, it's fair game. They're going to do anything they can to sell you that membership. And
it was relentless. I remember in the beginning when I first started working there, someone would come in and say, I'm thinking about it. And they would go like, whatever, call me when you make up your mind. There was like no pressure. And then, as things went along, they got they had a binded book that was like objection scripts. I'm sure you had that too.
Oh yeah.
It would be like, if a woman says, I need to think about it, here's how you respond. If a man says I need to think about it, here's how you respond. If they say it's too expensive, ask them how much they spend at Starbucks. It was, they had a response for they would not let you leave. Sometimes people would like come storming out and be like, fuck this gym. And they would walk out and I'd be like, whoa. It was not a,
Yeah, I was really glad I got out of that industry too, for sure. So, okay, so that's what you were doing after the wrestling incident. So, what are you doing for work now?
I'm a full-time stock trader.
You're full-time. Okay, I thought that. I didn't want to answer that for you, but
this is.
What kind of trading are you? What kind of trading are you doing? Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? What do you do?
Yeah, I started as a swing trader. So I was working at the gym and I knew my time was coming up. I knew like they were asking me if I wanted to do sales, and I was just like, can't do this, but I don't know what else to do. And I liked the stock market. I knew a little bit about it, but not enough. And I literally I went home one day and I got on Google and I typed in how to make money in the stock market. And the first book that popped up was the one that I bought. It's called How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market which sounds like a gimmicky title, but it was written in the 1960s, which is a lot of money in the 60s. And I bought this book and I was like, no way that these methods are going to hold up today, right? It's, you know, it's 40 to 50, 60 years. Yeah, it's ancient. You know, like they didn't even have computers back then. Like this is not going to be the same. Right. His methods won't hold up, but they did. And it was basically swing trading. So for those who don't know, it's like, you know, momentum investing, seeing a hot trend, hopping on it. For a lot of investments, like when it comes to investing, they say, don't look where everyone else is looking because it's just a fad. You want to find the beaten down companies that can make a comeback over many years. But for momentum investing, it's the opposite. You're looking to buy high, sell higher, and like ride that wave of momentum. So for the first probably 6 years, I was swing trading. When Trump got elected and the markets, the volatility was just going crazy, I was like, I'm not swing trading anymore because I'm too nervous. I don't trust the markets. I don't trust the markets to you know, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's every single day. There was another, you know, the markets are skyrocketing, they're plummeting. And I was just like, swing trading is not going to cut it because I don't feel comfortable holding stocks for 2 or 3 weeks or months when every day there's a new news story that's moving the markets. That's when I started day trading. And
hold on.
Sure.
Stop. Let me stop you right there. Sorry, let me cut you off. So most of what I know and what other people would say that day trading is significantly more difficult and more dangerous than swing trading. Why did you say, okay, well then I'm going to day trade versus long term?
Yeah. So the first thing I'll say is to anyone who's watching is you got to have more than one strategy as a trader, because markets are always going to change and you have to be able to adapt and move. You can't be like, oh, tech is going crazy and it's going to go crazy forever. Things are going to go up and the other things are going to go, it's going to, you know. And so when this was happening and I kind of stepped back for a little bit. And I just was noticing that the markets would shoot up and then plummet and then shoot up and then plummet. And it just seemed like a natural fit for day trading. I'll just wait for the down days, buy, and then, you know, a day later, which isn't technically day trading, right? Day trading is you're in and out on the same day.
Right.
But it was much more short-term swing trading over the course of like, markets are tanking on Monday, I'm in. They're up on Tuesday, I'm out. Or even, you know, real actual day trading. It just felt safer to me. I know it seems like, right, day trading is inherently more risky if you're new, especially. But I've been trading at that point for probably 7 years. So it was easier for me to say, I'm in on a stock, it's continuing to go down, I'm cutting my losses, I'm out, and move on to the next one. And that's just kind of what I did. And it worked. I mean, the last 2 years, or I guess, well, 3 or 4 years have been the most successful years that I've had. And it's been probably a combination of day trading and swing trading.
So what has been the most successful trade that you've ever had? And I think I might know the answer to this because I've followed you long enough, but go ahead.
Yeah, you're going to know. You're going to know it. It was Kodak. Kodak. Yeah. So, and this is another thing that I like to say that's important for new traders who are watching is, remember, like Kodak happened, what, I think it was it last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was last year.
I think it was last year.
Positive it was last year, yeah.
Yeah, it was last year because COVID had just, so I was trading for 10 years. My single best trade ever was last year. So for these new traders who are like, I want to get rich right away, I want to start making tons of money tomorrow, keep in mind that it took me 10 years to have a trade like this. And a lot of it was really just dumb luck. But Kodak was bouncing in a range between $2 and $2.30. I can trade that. Every time it was $2, I bought. Every time it hit 230, I sold. Went back down to 2, I bought. I just kept doing it. And I was sitting on probably 3,000 shares at around $2. And it surged. On one day, it went from 2 to 3. Huge. That's a huge move, $2 to $3. And I sold a little bit. And then there was this part of me that was like, wait a minute. Like, hold up. What's going on here? Because this is a huge move in one day for
it's a 33% move in a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the stock market, that's a lot.
Huge move in a day. So I was tempted to sell the whole position, but my experience from having been a trader for so many years was like, wait a minute. And I got on Google, I started researching, and there was nothing. There was one tweet that had gotten posted and immediately deleted, which was some journalist in upstate New York said that Kodak was working on something that was going to change the company, the town in New York where they're located, and America. And I was like, that's, whatever that is could be huge. You know, buy the rumor, sell the news. I was like, I'm going to hold on to my last couple of thousand shares. And then the next day, they said at 4:00, so you'd have to wait for the whole day till the markets closed, Trump was going to come out and he was going to make some sort of announcement, or Kodak was going to come out and make some announcement. I can't remember who. And the announcement was that he was appointing them to make the vaccine. And I was like, first of all, what does a camera company have any knowledge with?
Right.
You know, I mean, I know it's a chemical company because of film and stuff, but what do they know about viruses? That doesn't. So I was confused, but I was like, who cares? Because buy the rumor, sell the news. I woke up at like 4 a.m. when pre-market was doing its thing, and it was $11. And I was like, oh, and I sold a little. And then when I woke, by the time, and it just kept going that same day, it was like 30, 40, 50, and it kept getting halted, and then the halt would lift and it would go higher. And when it was getting halted, I was like, sooner or later, this thing is going to drop. Which it did. It got up to 70. I sold the last bit of my Kodak stock at like 65. And then after the halt, it tanked. It went down to like 30 or something. And I was like, that was just dumb luck. So
you 35x within a 48-hour period on a few thousand shares. I mean, that's freaking fabulous.
It was pure dumb luck, because anyone else would have been like, wow, 2 to 3, I'm out, and they would have sold the whole position.
Not in the cryptoverse, they wouldn't.
No, not in the crypto world. Yeah.
That's really funny. That's awesome. So let me ask you this. I know with me, when I first started getting into stocks and crypto and all of that, my family, I own my own business and I have other stuff that I do, right? But when I would start to talk about it, I would always get these kind of like, well, you didn't like go to school for finance. Like, they wouldn't say this, right? But you just kind of got the feeling that like, well, how is he going to be successful with this? He doesn't really know anything about it. Right. So what was your experience? Like, what's your family like? Do you have your mom and dad around? Are they supportive? Like, brothers and sisters? What's that look like?
Well, it's just me and my mom. My mom had me through a donor. So it's just the two of us. But, I mean, you know, I said I want to be a pro wrestler, and she was like, do it. You know, right. I think that tells you everything you need to know about my mom. It was really just that kind of thing where I said, like, you know, I didn't even have to tell her. She knew. She was like, you're 18. You can't be a pro wrestler when you're 40. You got to do it when you're young. Go for it. If it doesn't work, you can always go to school later. Whereas most parents would say, go to school first, and then you can do whatever you want. But you know how that is. You go to school, then you have debt, then you get a family, and you get a house and a mortgage. You have a job. All of a sudden, you're 40 going, I never got the chance. So I was very fortunate to have my mom say, go and do it. In terms of investing, when I was a little kid, I was sitting in, my grandma lived in New York City. And I remember sitting on the couch next to her, and I was talking, and the news was on. And they were like, and now in stock market news, and my grandma turned to me and was like, let me listen. And I was like, stock market news, why is this important? So it was just always kind of that thing that, you know, I mean, they never sat me down, my mom, my grandma, they never sat me down and were like, these are our investments. But it was just something that I casually picked up on as a little kid. Like, my grandma would get checks in the mail from her dividend. And she would live off of them like that. Right. You know, she'd get checks. And so, it's just something that like you subconsciously pick up on, like investing. My mom, also great investor. So it was just kind of that thing that was around. It's funny though, because in high school, I was the worst student. I failed math straight through. I mean, F's on every single, I couldn't, it was like, you know, upside down and inside. I couldn't understand it. And now, you know, you trade stocks, you got to learn how to calculate, and it probably taught myself more math than I ever learned in school because it was something that I was interested in.
Right. So speaking of taught yourself, ultimately
Yeah.
you are self-taught. You did say that. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I started off literally like stock market for dummies, and like I just literally kind of started reading like into some books and the internet and all that. Where would you say you gained the vast amount of your knowledge? Has it been experience, or has it been more like you really got heavy into the research side first?
So when I started, I left the gym in 2011, but I was starting to invest and trade in the years prior because I knew my time at the gym was running up, and I was like, I got to find something to do. So I was kind of practicing a little bit with the stocks, and I was reading these books. I read 2 books. The Darvis book that I just mentioned about, momentum trading, and then another book called like The Neatest Little Guide to Stock Market Investing. So I had these 2 books. One was about trading. The other was about investing. I read them. I mean, I highlighted those books more than I highlighted any textbook I ever was in high school. And I just absorbed it all. And then I just started trading on my own, a little bit at a time, because I had made some really stupid investments prior because of some guys who worked at the gym. And they're like, you got to buy this stock. And I'd buy it and it would tank and I'd lose all my money. And so I just started kind of like, I was like, all right, that didn't work. I got to be very smart with my money. I got to little baby steps and all that stuff. And it was just a lot of experience and trial and error because TikTok didn't exist. YouTube didn't exist in the way it does. Instagram didn't exist. There's no one for me in 2011 to DM or comment on a video and go, can you teach me? Can you recommend books? Like we have, like what you and I do now. That didn't exist for me back then. So it was a lot of trial and error.
Just figuring it out. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So when you're not investing, which you're day trading, so you're doing it all the time, but you obviously have time to yourself. And most of what now, correct me if I'm wrong, most of what you're doing is in the stock market, right? You're dabbling in crypto. Is that correct? Or am I off there?
Yeah, you're totally right. It's dabbling at the moment. I mean, I own a bunch of crypto that I don't plan on selling, like Bitcoin, Ethereum. I know Ethereum's your favorite. I have a lot of Ethereum, a little bit of Bitcoin, Cardano. I have Cardano, I have VeChain, and I have some Dogecoin because I was trading Dogecoin.
You were like actively day trading Doge?
Yeah, and
you making money?
Yeah.
Oh boy, guys, what you're gonna do is put the headphones on for this part of the interview, because we don't trade Dogecoin. No, I'm just kidding. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
What the funny thing about crypto is, at least with some of this high volatility, is it's pretty similar to high volatility stocks. So I'm really just looking at like, what's everyone doing? Everyone's talking about Dogecoin. I'm going to ride this momentum. The difference is that as someone who I pay my bills through my stock trades. So I'm not like these, like diamond hands, hold forever. I have a profit. I'm going to take it because I got condo fees and I have bills.
Right.
And I'm self-employed, so I have to pay for my own insurance, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm up on Dogecoin, I'm out, and then it drops, I get back in. It goes up, I'm out. I'm not holding for the moon. I don't care about the moon. I care about, look, I made whatever I made, and I can pay my bills this month. But yeah, mostly stocks.
I think so many, and I love, that was one of the things that I liked about getting into some of your content. Like, I think that so many times we get so focused and lasered in on, and it has to be this one huge freaking move, right? It's got to be like, I wake up tomorrow, I put $1,000 in, and I wake up tomorrow and there's $1 million in my account from that trade. Now listen, it happens in crypto, right? It does, right? The Kodak thing, great example. It can happen, but the reality is, the numbers game is in taking profits, right, on a consistent basis to make sure that at the end of the day, even if something does dump, you're ahead, you're up. You're not going to just lose everything, right? I mean, I picked a lot of that up from you, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Nice.
That's why I say it's so important. Look, like when you're hyper focused on, I got to find the next big winner. What's the next GameStop? What's the next AMC? What's the next Dogecoin? You're going to be missing out on all these small, consistent gainers that add up. If you're doing $200 a couple days a week in gains, that's significant. But you're missing out on that if you're like, no, I gotta find the one that's going to go up 1,000% in 2 days.
Yeah,
you know, it's fun. And I can do that I can do that from time to time. I traded AMC, I traded Dogecoin, but I'm not hyper focused on I gotta find the next one.
Right. That's good. That's good stuff. So what kind of hobbies do you have? Like, do you have any pets? Do you have hobbies? What do you do outside of trading?
I have no pets because I'm allergic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
just
I'm allergic
across the board. Just allergic
across
to
the board
of dogs and cats or whatever.
Yeah, I love dogs. I love cats. My ex, she had a dog. She had a cat. I was allergic to them both. The dog passed away. She still has the cat, but I was allergic to the cat. I'm allergic to the dog. I'm allergic to hypoallergenic dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we had a friend who had a hypoallergenic dog, and I went to their house, and I'm like sneezing and I'm rubbing my nose, and I'm like, do you guys have a dog? And they're like, yeah, but it's hypoallergenic. And I was like, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that matters.
Right.
Yeah. So no, I don't have any pets. Hobbies. I love to go to the gym. I go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week, weights, put on my headphones and I blast Metallica. I like old cars. I have a 1985 Ford Bronco.
Oh yeah.
Which I know nothing about, right? Like I can fill the gas tank, and that's the extent of my car knowledge. So I wish. Is it
like one of those? Is it like all like super clean, and you paid people to do stuff to it, or you're just rocking a 1985 Bronco like that just does its thing?
It's pretty clean. I made the mistake of getting it painted at Mako, which is a disaster. Like I got it painted 4 years ago, and it's already peeling, and it's like faded and. But it is otherwise very clean. It's got 36,000 original miles.
Wow, you don't drive anywhere.
I don't drive anywhere. Yeah, no. I mean, I live in DC, so my gym is like 5 minutes. It takes me. But when I bought it, it had 36,000 original miles on it. So I like cars. I don't fix them up. I don't know how to fix them up, but I like them.
Yeah.
And gym, cars. I love to cook. I love to eat. So
okay, what's your favorite kind of food? You get one choice tonight, tomorrow night, the next night, and I'm trying to play the game of averages, and I want to pick Ken's favorite meal. What is it?
Probably Thai food.
Thai food. Okay.
Yeah.
Who turned you on to that?
I don't know. I mean, we just always had good Thai restaurants in DC. I think my mom. There was a place in our neighborhood when I was a little kid that we used to go to. My mom took me, and I love it. And DC has a really good food scene. I don't know. I mean, that's tough. I like sushi and, I like sushi and Ethiopian food. And I was telling you in your video last night, there's this ice cream called ube. It's really good.
It was ube. I didn't know how you say it.
Yeah, no, it's ube. I've never heard of it either. And there's someone who follows me who's in this. Yeah, she's watching this right now. Her name is Anu, and she lives in New York. And I've been telling her to go to Soft Swerve forever and get this ube ice cream. It is so good.
No, that's that. If I'm never up there, I'll try to remember that. So here's my question. So you're day trading stocks, right? It's 2011. Now fast forward to the last couple years. How did the social media stuff get involved? Why did you start? How did you really get involved in it? And then with that, in regards to that, what kind of took off for you? Because you've got a really nice following.
Yeah. I started on social media. Well, what happened was I had a couple friends who were asking me if they should start investing. When the president is talking about the stock market, that's what he did. A lot of the time he was saying the stock market's up. People are listening. And a lot of people don't invest in this country. A lot of people don't know anything about the stock market. And all of a sudden, you have all these people going like, man, investing. Should I be investing? And so I had a ton of friends all of a sudden come out of nowhere going like, how do I do this? I want to start investing. Stock market keeps going up. I want to be part of it.
Right.
I would sit down with my friends and I'd show them. We'd open up an Ameritrade account or whatever. And then a week later, someone else would be like, hey, don't you trade stocks? Can you show me? And I was like, man, if only I was like more comfortable in front of being on the camera, I would have a YouTube channel. But I was not. I was, like I told you earlier, I was super shy. I hated being in front of the camera. And so I joined a Facebook group, and I would answer questions there, but it was full of trolls and, you know, people like just assholes. And I left that group. And then some guy who was in the group DMs me on Facebook, and he was like, "Hey, I was learning so much. Where did you go?" And he was the one who told me to start filming videos. He was like, "Why don't you just get a YouTube channel?" And I was like, "You know, I've been thinking about it, but I'm too shy. I don't want to." And he was like, "Look, just hit play, record something. Don't even watch it. Immediately delete it. Just get used to being in front of the camera." And I was like, "All right." And so I did that for like 2 weeks. I would film the same video, delete it. They were awful. And then I opened a YouTube page. I got an Instagram account. Instagram sucked. At the end of a full year, I had 185 followers. I had 50 followers on YouTube. Nobody was watching. Nobody was asking. And I was like, I am wasting my time. And I went to the gym, and the general manager of my gym was like, he had gone on YouTube and he typed in how to make money trading stocks, and my video came up. And I hadn't told anyone about it because I was so embarrassed because they were terrible. And he was like, "Hey, I saw you on YouTube." And I was like, don't tell anyone those videos. I was like, "Shut up, man. I don't want anyone to know because they're bad." And he was like, "They're not bad. They're good." And I was like, "No, they're not. They're awful." And he was like, "Well, yeah, they're awful, but what you're saying is good." And he was like, why don't you get on TikTok?" And I was like, "No way. TikTok is for teenagers. I'm 35. Yep. I don't need to be on that app." And he was like, "Nope, you are wrong. It has changed." And he was telling me, like, it's got a lot of food and dancing and fitness and education. And I was like, all right. And I downloaded TikTok. Within my first week, I had like 400 followers.
Yeah.
And I was like, this has got to be a joke. Like, there's no way. I had more followers in a week than I had in a whole year on Instagram. And then it just kept going. And the thing that really, you know, when I hit 10,000, I kind of had like a little panic attack because I was like, this is 10,000 people who are listening to me for financial stuff. That's a lot. 10,000 is a lot of people. And I got really nervous, and I was like, maybe I'm in over my head with this because, you know, I didn't go to college. I'm self-taught.
Right.
Hi, Allie. And then GameStop happened, and I did like a couple videos on like, hey, you guys need to be careful. This is crazy. This is unprecedented. And my account went from 30,000 to 100,000 followers in 2 days.
What?
And I freaked out. And like, you know,
30,000 to 100,000 in 2 days?
Yeah, 30,000 to 100,000. It was like 70. And I always wondered what it was like for, like, you know, when The Rock posts something on Instagram and then puts his phone down. Like, what is his phone? Like, the battery must die in like 10 minutes just from the alerts rolling in, you know?
Right.
And I'm sitting there and I like film this video, like, what's going on with GameStop or whatever. And it just started going. I was getting probably 1,000 followers a minute and 100 comments a minute for hours. And I was like, uh-oh, I don't like this. And I reached out to a couple people who I follow on here, and I was like, how do you deal with this pressure? Because they had a lot of followers. I didn't. And all of a sudden I have a lot of followers. And they were just like, you know, take a couple days. Don't worry about it. I got a death threat. Someone threatened to kill me for saying you should sell your GameStop, if, you know, sell some of it if you have a profit. And, you know, that was kind of exciting. Like, I've never gotten a death threat before. So, you know, it was surreal.
That's wild. That's wild. And then, now fast forward to now, like, what is your, if I asked you, like, what your mantra is, or what is your page about, how would you explain that to me in a couple sentences?
My page is about teaching you how to become a self-sufficient stock trader.
Okay.
That's kind of it. Like, everyone knows that if you give a man a fish versus, you know, whatever that expression is, you know, that's my emphasis on my channel. I'm not going to tell you what to buy. I couldn't if I wanted to, because I'm not licensed, but I'm not going to
Right.
do call outs. A lot of people on here do call outs. They go like, do your own due diligence, but here's what I'm buying. Wink.
Yeah.
I don't, that's not the point of my channel. My point of my channel is teach you to be self-sufficient,
Yeah.
teach you so you don't have to rely on some stranger on the internet, because
Yeah.
it does create some sort of like weird codependency where it's like, all right, I bought what you told me. Now what do I do? And
Yeah.
I want people to learn how to not have to ask those questions and be able to look at a chart and go, I'm making the decision. This is when I'm going to sell because I'm happy with my profit, or I think it's going to reverse, or whatever.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, I think that it's all good and well to admire someone, to listen to what they have to say, to trust and believe them. But I'm a big proponent of, like, guys, like, I know it's like beating a dead horse when you say do your own research. Like, people hear that all the time. I'm not, this is not financial advice. They hear a lot of the same things over and over. But one of the things that I've learned in life is, like, if you keep hearing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, i.e., do your own research, maybe you should do your own research, right? It's not that I don't want to be able to tell you my thoughts. It's not that I wouldn't like to be able to 100% help you. It's that there's so much more that is involved in terms of you doing you, and
Right.
then use the other tools, right? If I want to listen to 10 different people, cool. But then that combined with what I believe, with what I've researched, and then maybe I'm a confirmation, right? So I'm totally with you on that, for sure.
Yeah, there's too much like misinformation, and there's too many conflicting. This guy says sell it. This guy says he loves it. There's a lot going on, and at the end of the day, you have to make your own decisions. I don't want to be doing call outs. I don't want to be responsible for your money. I don't want you writing me going, I bought because you told me to. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it is on you. If you bought it and you didn't sell and it went down, it is on you. But I still don't want that to be the point of my channel, where it's people going, hey, you recommended and I bought. And it's not that I'm not hoarding this stuff, right? It's not like, no, these are my stocks and you can't have them. Get away. People are always like, tell us what you're buying. And no, that's not the point of my channel. Isn't to tell you what I'm buying. It's to teach you how to research and find them yourself. Everything I show you, my screeners that I use, that's how I find them. You do the same thing. You'll find exactly what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So you do use a lot of like the stock screeners.
I use screeners,
FinViz and stuff like that.
Yeah. For a while, I was using TD Ameritrade's screeners, which I thought were great. I don't know if you follow Sierra 2 Cents on here, but she did a video on the screeners that she loves. And Sierra did a video on her screeners, and she was like, I use FinViz. And I was like, I've never used I know the site, but I've never used their screeners. I like their screeners better than TD Ameritrade. So I use their screeners. Yeah, I use their screeners. I look at websites. Even FinViz is like top 10. Like, when you go on their website, it's like, here are the top 10 stocks of the day.
Explain a screener to those of you. There's a lot of people that on my chat are newer to investing as a whole. Explain what a screener is.
Sure. A screener, you can use stock screeners for literally anything. You're either using it to find, stocks at certain price points, technical analysis indicators, stocks that have dividends, stocks. You can literally use it for anything. You could say, show me a stock that's $25 that pays a 6% dividend, that is hitting new 52-week highs, and is crossing the top line on a Bollinger Band. And it'll say, here is your 30 stocks. And then you can go through the list. Or I can use them, like, for what I would do is, looking for a stock to swing trade or day trade, I would say, show me a stock that's under $5, that is having unusually high volume to the downside, that is crossing the 30 line on the relative strength index, indicating that it's oversold and it might have a bounce. And then I'll hit, show me anything with unusually high volume or hitting a new 52-week low, something that's just getting crushed.
Yeah.
And then there's my list.
Guys, that is such good, solid, like, a lot of that there that he just went over is like some very basic ideas when you get in, but it's so freaking important. I think it really helps you weed out. And if you have a game plan, which is I think another thing that I've heard you talk about, actually having a plan for what you're trying to do, then you can actually screen these stocks, screen the different assets or the securities, and say, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. So here's what I'll look for, and here's what comes up. So yeah, I'm totally with you. So what is your goal? Like your and when I say what is your goal, or what do your goals look like? You said you're my age. You're 36. You said, I think you said
36.
Right?
Yeah, 36.
Okay. So do you have like a, hey, I want to retire, but like I have this hard goal where I want to retire at 45. I'm 37, and I have this goal where I want to retire at 45. Now, when I say retire, my business is still going to be operating, right? I'm not saying that I'm just going to shut down and not work anymore. I'm just saying that I want to be able to spend as much time with my new daughter as possible, and basically be able to sit at home, talk to you guys, and be able to continue to invest. Do you have like a goal like that?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just seeing where this goes, especially with TikTok right now. I mean, I never expected to have 1,000 followers, let alone 125,000. So I'm just kind of seeing where this goes and what happens, and maybe something cool comes of it. Maybe something cool comes of it in a different, maybe not stocks. I don't know. I'm open to anything. Goal right now, I mean, I would love to do more traveling, obviously, once, all this stuff with COVID loosens up, and overseas, because, places overseas are getting crushed right now. So I'm not going to be going anywhere, but I would love to do more traveling. But yeah, in terms of a goal, I would also like to be retired. I don't think I'll stop trading, but I would like to spend more time doing the things I want, traveling, eating, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, no, that's great. That's yeah, I'm totally with you. Time. I'm trying to get more time, right? Which obviously I can't get actually more time, but yeah, I can make more time. So, all right. So I want to ask you a few questions about crypto, but before I ask you that, what would be, finishing off kind of on the stock side of things, what would be your answer if I said, hey, why is the stock market important in crypto world?
You mean why is the stock market important? Like how it ties to crypto, or
I guess maybe I didn't phrase that. I guess maybe I didn't phrase that very well. I have this feeling that the stock market can do some wild things, and crypto sometimes will. Well, a lot of times will follow. And I guess I'm just curious if you have a reason or an answer for why you think when the stock market is, like when the stock market dumped because of whatever the fear was, why is the crypto markets doing the same thing?
I think it's, I think the crypto thing started as, this is a chance for the little guy to make some money, get away from the banking system, this whole blockchain thing. I was watching someone earlier talking about when you buy a house in the future using blockchain, it's going to cut out all the fees and stuff like that. I think the purpose, the intention of cryptocurrency, especially what we're seeing like in El Salvador, where people don't have banks, but they all have phones, is going to do tremendous things for people. But when people realize there's money to be made, the big money is going to come in. So, this maybe started as a thing, like a thing for the people, but it's very quickly becoming, the hedge funds are getting into it. They're going to push these prices up as much as they want. They're going to drive them down. I mean, Bitcoin hit $60,000. If you're a hedge fund and you want to buy Bitcoin, you're not going to pay $60,000. You're gonna create a fear campaign saying, "Oh, China's going to blow. This country's going to block it. Oh, stay away from Bitcoin." It plummets. Everyone freaks out and sells, and then those hedge funds come right in and they buy it at 25 or 30. And I think this is going to get just as manipulated as the stock market when there's billionaires coming in.
I actually could not agree with you more. I have been telling my followers, like, listen, guys, a lot of people think that with crypto, that because the institutions are coming in, because these hedge funds are coming in, because all of this big money's coming in, there was a lot of talk about how things were going to settle down in terms of the volatility. And I kept saying, listen, I'm saying the exact freaking opposite. They are here to play the game, and the game is getting you to get scared, getting you to sell so that they can buy lower. So I really think that it gets things just more disruptive in terms of, you know, going just the volatility. Yeah. So you think that too? Yeah. That's okay. Cool.
I think so.
So you said you're holding some crypto. What would be your favorite project?
You know, I don't know enough about crypto right now to know what the individual projects, like what these cryptocurrencies, I don't know a lot about cryptocurrency. So my thought on cryptocurrency was a long time ago, it's just an alternative to the dollar. It's an alternative currency. Now everyone's talking about like VeChain has this great project with the ocean. I don't understand, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't get what is the project. I thought it was a currency. Now they're saying they're using VeChain to clean the ocean. I don't get it. I like it, but I don't understand. I don't understand the project. I thought it was just another form of money. And then, you know, there was Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now there's a million different coins.
I think that's misleading, and I guess I'll give you a little bit of an answer there. I hate that they call them all cryptocurrencies. They are assets and different asset classes, and they solve problems, right? And so that's why, for the reason that I would joke around and say that I don't like Dogecoin. Listen, I made 100x on Dogecoin, right? Albeit it was only $11 to 1,100, but still, right? That's wild, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think that there's any problem that Dogecoin is solving, right? However, with VeChain, they are doing supply chain tracking, supply chain management, and so there is a problem, right, that they are able to solve, and these assets come in and have these projects that help to solve these problems. So most of them anymore are not currencies. They're not. They are assets for sure.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think it's very misleading when you hear the word cryptocurrency.
Yeah, because I always thought, like, how many alternative currencies can there be? There's thousands of these coins. Like, I thought if it's supposed to be a replacement for money, how many do you need? Like, what, you're going to go into CVS and it's going to say, here are the 9,000 coins we accept? Like, I didn't, as someone who's never traded stocks before, you know, I didn't get it. I thought it was going to be like, we accept the dollar and Bitcoin. And now it's, you know, all of these. I did see, you were talking about like the product line. Someone mentioned something. It might have been VeChain or it might have been Cardano. I can't remember which one. It might have been VeChain. In terms of like, if I make a Kate Spade bag in a factory, you can track the progress, so you know that it's not a knockoff.
Yep. That's VeChain,
yeah. So
for sure.
I like that a lot. I think that could help.
Yeah, there's all sorts of wild stuff that the cryptos are doing. So let me ask you this. What would be the one thing that you, as a new investor, stock market or crypto, either way, just as an investor as a whole, what would be maybe a hard lesson that you learned, or the hardest lesson that you've ever learned in regards to your investment life, right? That you would want someone else to learn from you and say, hey, don't make this mistake.
I would say listen to your gut. I wanted to buy stock in Apple in 2003 when I graduated high school. I got an Apple. I got the laptop. That was my graduation present when I graduated high school. My mom bought me the computer. And I was like, this computer is amazing. And I'm looking around and all my friends had iPods. iTunes was a thing. I didn't know what disrupting, Apple is disrupting the industry. I didn't know what that meant. I just knew everyone had an Apple. The phone didn't even exist yet. But I was just like, something's up here. And I want to be a part of it. And we used a stockbroker, and I called him. And he was probably 75. And I said, I want stock in Apple. And he was like, don't waste your money. No one wants to buy music on a computer. They want tapes and they want CDs. And I was like, and it was $9 a share. And he gave me the lecture, like, listen here, young man, you're wasting your money. This is not going anywhere. Apple's a loser company. They've never done anything, which up until that point, they really hadn't. It was a penny stock in the 80s and 90s. And it took like 30 years for this thing to hit $10. But I had a feeling. I'm looking around and noticing, and he talked me out of it. And a week later, it was like $12, and I was furious. This guy in my group, Jay, he knows the story. I called him back, and I was like, dude. And he was like, all right, get 100 shares if you want. But I had saved up. I had a ton of money, and I wanted to buy 300 shares. Right. It was $10, so $3,000 investment. And he was like, you're wasting your money. I'm telling you, just get 100. And that was the hardest lesson for me, because when you do the math, and this was a long-term investment. I wasn't trading stocks back then. I was looking at this as, I'm going to hold this stock for life, right? That's what my grandma did. That's what my mom did. They bought and they held.
Right.
So for me, I was going to buy my 3,000 shares and I was going to hold. Well, when you do the math, because Apple's had multiple splits. Years, it would have ended up being like $6 million in gains on just that $3,000 investment 20 years ago or 18 years ago. And that kills.
Yeah.
That kills because
trust in your gut. Yeah.
Trust your gut, man. And also don't always listen to the experts. You know, I mean, I don't want to discredit all experts, but you know, you have a stockbroker who's supposed to be looking at this going, hey, you're young, you're looking around, you're noticing stuff that maybe I'm not seeing. Let me ask some of the other younger brokers in my whatever. That sucks.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, guys, I'm going to, first of all, Ken, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming on.
For sure. Thank you. Yeah.
That was great. Really great getting to talk to you, especially after all of the content of yours that I've watched. I really enjoy it. Does anybody have any questions in the chat that they want to throw out at Ken on my side, or Ken, did anybody on your side, they throw in any questions about you, maybe what kind of beard conditioner I use or something like that? I get those questions a lot.
Yeah. I have, my friend used to make my beard conditioner.
Oh yeah.
She had she got like all the oils and the, you know, shea butter, and she would melt it it was like a candle making kit, but for beard oil. And that was great, but she stopped because she got busy. So I had to buy some on Amazon, but I really like whatever I bought. I forget what it's called. Yeah. Beard Brothers or something. It's great.
You know what? I actually, I think that's right, because I think I've tried it before. I've messed with so many different options in terms of beard stuff. I just, I haven't ever found one that I just 100% all in on. So, I've had people saying that I should have a beard company sponsoring, or a beard conditioner company, like get a sponsor or something on as the page grows larger. I thought that was pretty fun. But,
I have no comments or questions over here. They said that you were great and asked great questions.
Thank you, guys. If you're not following Trade Invest Simplified, touch his name down in the corner, guys.
And same for Crypto Keeper. I said this even before you had this interview thing that you were doing, and you DM'd me like a week ago and asked if I'd be up for an interview. But prior to that, I've seen you in my lives, and I've said this every single time. Your username is the best username on TikTok. The Crypto Keeper, it just I love it.
That's great. That's great, dude.
Okay, so I got two questions now. Talking about gut feeling, what's your gut feeling about the next thing? If you're talking about like the next hot stock, couldn't tell you. If you're talking about the next hot thing in the markets, I would probably say, I think it's probably going to end up being something with crypto. I mean, I think that's going to be the next hot thing. I'm talking years. You know, I'm sure a lot of these are these trash coins aren't going to exist in a couple of years. But once you've weeded out all the trash, there's going to be a few prominent ones, and it's going to be really interesting over the next 10 years to see where these go.
Yeah, I think the markets are going to look a lot different than they do right now. Right now, everyone in the crypto markets are investing on speculation, and it is not pure speculation. It's not. That's not fair. There's a lot going on in these projects, but the majority of the actual money that's going into these are me speculating on the fact that I love VeChain because it solves a great problem and they're doing all these great things, or are going to be. People read the white papers, and the white paper ultimately, if you really know what you're looking at, is a freaking sales pitch. It is telling you, hey, these are all the great things that we can do. I think the markets are going to look totally different. However, I also, and here's a good one for you, Ken. I also think that, and I don't know how this is going to happen, but I think blockchain is going to get integrated. Maybe integrated is not a good word. I think the stock market is going to be in some type of way on the blockchain. I think that is going to happen. They're already starting. They're already starting with a few projects that you are able to basically trade a derivative that's tied to the price of stocks. Have you heard about any of these?
No.
Okay, so BNB's got a project, guys. Maybe in the chat you can remind me who this is. But what is the? Is it? Oh my gosh, it's not. Hold on a second. Let me think for 1 second. It is. Somebody will tell me. Okay, let me just tell you what they're doing. Basically, they are allowing you to buy a coin, right, or a token that is tied directly to the stock price of and right now it's kind of controversial because they're saying, wait a minute, doesn't that actually make it a security at that point, right? Sure. And I don't know all the technicals on it exactly how they're making it, how they're saying that it's not. But there's a lot of controversy around it right now because it's literally allowing people outside of the states to be able to trade. And this is what the point is, to be able to trade on the U.S. stock market, essentially. Because what they're doing is they're buying tokens that are on that network, right? That's directly tied to the freaking stock market over here.
The price of the coin is the same as the stock.
Well, right, or it's 10 to 1, or what? But it's directly correlated in time.
Okay,
it's 10 to 1, it's 100 to 1, it's dollar for dollar, whatever. It's directly correlated, and they can buy that coin, and it does as that stock moves, it moves the same way. I cannot think of what. I'll look it up, but I cannot think of what that project is. Yeah. So yeah, I'm surprised you haven't heard about that. Actually, it's tied to stock market. Hold on. It is. Where is this? Man, I know somebody in my chat's got to know this. Guys, you guys. Oh, hold on. Somebody might have said it. No, you guys are letting me down. You're letting me down.
Yeah, there's nobody in my comments.
Yeah, it's. I got to look it up, but ultimately that's exactly what's happening, and I think it's a really interesting. I'm really surprised that nobody's put it into my chat, but it's a really interesting idea and pretty controversial. So
I think a lot of this stuff with crypto is, I think there's a lot of really interesting ideas that are, it's just in their infancy. A lot of these things are just in their infancy, and people are writing it off, or they're saying this is stupid or whatever. But like, we're just at the beginning with a lot of this stuff, learning what these things can do. Even electric vehicles, 10 years from now, these electric vehicles are going to be way different than what they are now. Like the batteries in these things are huge. 10 years from now, things are going to change. With this cryptocurrency and what you're talking about, there's going to be regulations. There's going to be all kinds of stuff that happens in the next 10 years. But there are some interesting ideas right now.
Yeah. I thought that one was interesting.
I like it.
A lot of people out of the country that want to be able to trade, stocks, but they can't. Right, on our stock market, it's a freaking really creative way. They've got one on Binance Smart Chain and one somewhere else, and it's really pissing me off that I cannot think of what it's called right now. And I'm trying to look, but I got to put a better description in here. And yeah, I just thought it was a really wild idea. I thought you might want to check that out.
I will. Yeah. I'm definitely going to look it up.
See what you think. But yeah, so.
And Crypto Asset Addict is asking me, calls, puts, or just buy and sell. I don't trade options.
Oh, you don't trade options at all? I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. I make like 10 options trades a year and I lose on like 8 of them. I'm just not, I'm just not, it's just not my thing.
Man, I really was trying to tell you what this is called. I'm gonna message you and tell you as soon as I find. But they actually were, whoever it was on Binance was actually had a lawsuit going on about it that they have been fighting because of it. So it's definitely been controversial. But
yeah. I'm sure there's going to be lots of lawsuits. Someone's just asked me about SafeMoon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the crypto guy. I know you've
Yeah.
talked that you said you don't even talk about it.
No, I don't. I just don't like the pump coins. I just think that they're bad for the market. I think that at the end of the day, more people are going to get burnt than are going to make money. A lot of people have made money, but it is literally opening up a can of worms. The only good thing about the pump coins is when they introduce new people to the crypto markets. But the problem is they get absolutely hosed. And then they say, "Oh, I knew it was a scam," and you know what I mean, just stuff like that. So
yeah, they play both sides of it.
I don't get into that. So
Yeah.
Ken, dude, I really appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
We'll continue to talk. I am going to jump off here and probably going to talk some straight crypto stuff with my guys for a little bit. My ladies and guys, sorry. So I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you, and everyone give Nick a follow.
Appreciate it.
All right,
have a good night, man.
See you later.